Lesson 20. Sounds. P, b, t, d, k, g. Those consonants are called plosives, and they have one thing in common. This thing is the fact that the air is blocked, completely blocked by two speech organs, and then released with a little explosion. That's why they are plosives. And this little explosion is the thing that forms the sound. P, b are both very sharp and quick, and the blockage in this case is formed by your lips. P, p. You see, I put my lips together and they block the air. P, p. I can also feel a little pressure behind the blockage, and then the air is released when the blockage is open. P, p, p. Can you hear the explosion? P, p, p. P is voiceless, so there's no sound, just the explosion of the air. P, p. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. If you add the sound of your voice, you'll get b, b, b. Bobby and Brenda saw a black bat and a big bumblebee. T, d, t, d. Those two sounds are made when the tip of your tongue goes to the alveolar ridge, t, t, t. But it's not the tip of the tongue that touches the ridge, but the front of the tongue, so that the tip touches the back of the upper teeth. T, 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 t. Yeah? There's a blockage for a split second, and then the air is released with an explosion. T, 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 t. Okay? Timothy tenderly took two ties. If you add the sound of your voice, you'll get a d, d, d sound. D. Douglas dealt with ducks and drakes. K, g, k, g. In this case, the blockage is formed by the back of the tongue touching the roof of your mouth. K, 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 g, g, g. Clara collected coins and costumes. If you add the sound of your voice, you'll get g, g, g. Grace struggled with Greek grammar. Accent tip. Aspiration. Aspiration is a strong stream of air which is released when the plosive consonants are pronounced. By plosives, I mean p, t, and k. P, t, k. Point. Test. Key. Can you feel the stream of air? I bet you can. This explosion can only be heard when the consonants are in the beginning of a word and followed by a vowel. In the middle of the word, or if they are followed by a consonant, they are weaker. And those consonants in the end of a word or a phrase can even be dropped altogether, depending on an accent. Listen. Pen. Stop. Picture. Skirt. Talk. Student. Teacher. Card. But ask. You see the difference? Card. Card. Really strong. But with ask. Ask. Can barely be heard at all. Okay? One can practice aspiration with the help of a burning candle or a piece of paper. Watch me. Put a burning candle in front of you and try to put it out by pronouncing p, t, k. P. T. Oops. T. T. K. That's it. I'm sure you can do that too. If p, t, and k are preceded by s sound, they are unaspirated. Check this out. Pin, pin, but spin, spin. You see, it's much weaker, and this is called loss of plosion. Talk, talk, but stalk, stalk. Car, car, but scar, scar. So the stream of air is not that strong in this case. Alright, we're losing the aspiration here. There is another great articulatory exercise which you might want to try doing with me. So repeat after me, making the consonants clear and crisp. And the same with the voiced ones. B, d, b, d, b, d, b, d, b, d, g, 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 d. Okay? Very nice. So now let's practice together. P, b, pocket, pocket, bucket, bucket. Peace, peace. Bees, bees. Panther, panther. Bender, bender. Passport, passport. Buzzword, buzzword. That was great. Now d, tree, tree. Dream, dream. Right, right. Ride, ride. Trout, trout. Drought, drought. Cart, cart. Card, card. G, coast, coast. Ghost, ghost. Con, con. Gone, gone. Very nice. Back, back. Bag, bag. Uncle, uncle. Angle, angle. Great. Accent tip, glottal stop. The glottal stop is a very distinguishable feature of modern English accents, so learners of English must be aware of when and how to produce it, or when and how it might be produced by native speakers. Glottal stop is represented by this sign. A glottal stop is made by closing the stream of air in your glottis, in your throat. So it is a short pause with no air being released at all. Listen. Fitness, fitness. Yeah, I'm like closing my throat and making this short pause. Not fitness, but fitness, 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 fitness. Background, 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 background. Clipboard, clipboard. You see? Can you make it? I'm sure you can. A glottal stop is often pronounced in English when the t sound ends a syllable and there's a consonant sound following it. Like in those examples, rightly, rightly, rightly. Scotland, Scotland, Scotland. Britpop, Britpop, Britpop. This might happen inside a word or between two words, like in this example. It was. Not it was, but it was. It was. It was. That thing. That thing. That thing. That thing. Some speakers of English might even use glottal stops for p and k sounds if the next consonant sound is made in the same place of the mouth. Listen. Stop me. P and m are both made with your lips. So one of the consonants p is substituted for a glottal stop. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Background, background, background. Top by, top by, top by. Okay? It should be noted though that if the speaker produces really slow and clear speech, then glottal stop might not be used at all. For example, Scotland, Scotland. That thing, that thing. Background, background. Native speakers use the glottal stop really inconsistently, and there's hardly any rule that can be applied, like whether to use the glottal stop or not, where to use it or not, so it will be used differently and somewhat randomly all the time. Before consonants, in between the words, and sometimes even before vowels. That isn't right. That isn't right. It's hot. It's hot. I didn't. I didn't. There's not a lot of money. There's not a lot of money. There's not a lot of money. One of the hardest London tube stations for non-native speakers to pronounce is Tottenham Court Road. Tottenham Court Road, yeah? It has many glottal stops in there, and sometimes people might not even get the name if you're pronouncing it without glottal stops, yeah? And remember that something that we can produce, we can also hear in speech quite clearly. So that's why glottal stops are really important, because they are already standardized in English. So to pronounce Tottenham Court Road correctly, try breaking it into parts. Tottenham Court Road. Tottenham Court Road. Tottenham Court Road. Okay? Glottal stops are a very common feature for modern British accents, but their usage is heavily dependent on the degree of formality. If the setting is informal, then it's totally cool to use glottal stops. It gives you this, vibe. But some more old-fashioned people in a very formal setting might find glottal stops inappropriate. So be careful about your setting and don't forget to practice. See ya!